Welcome everyone to this on the bank at Weston Pools Fishery. Today we're on the clay pit and as you can see it's looking perfect. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is the jigger float. And the first thing is, what is the jigger float? Well, the jigger is essentially a float with a hole running through the middle of it. What this allows the line to go through the float, so you're covering depths from 3 inches down to even 5 foot. So it's an absolutely devastating method on the right day. So what I'm going to do is run you through my little tricks and tips and show you how to fish this jigger effectively. You also could ask, why would I use a jigger float over a fixed rig? Well, like I said, a jigger can cover from 3 inch down to 5 foot, whereas if you fish a fixed rig, say 16 inch deep, then you're limited to 16 inch deep. But the beauty with a jigger is you can slap your rig in, follow it all the way down to your depth, stop, you can feed, lift up and then go again. And if you take it out, slap it back in. Places I'd look to use a jigger would be when you're trying to catch massive weights. It just simplifies your fishing, makes it nice and easy. You're not having to strike, lift and bite. Effectively the fish pulls the elastic out and you hook every fish that takes your hook bait. It works really well on deep venues as well. Like today at the clay pit, I could be faced with, God knows how deep out there, 20 foot. So if I've got fish feeding from a foot down to 4 foot, if I had a fixed rig, I could be missing a load of different fish. So this is why I have an option to use the jigger. So let's start with the rigs. Today I've set up 2 rigs. The first one is a deep 5 foot rig. Second one is 3 foot for the shallower. So we'll start on the 3 foot rig. I've chose to use a short kit and a short 4, which is in my pole. This is so the pole is dead stiff when I'm slapping rig over, there's no bounce, it's just when you slap your rig, your pole resets straight away. Also, the beauty of short kits is the fish come in close to you, so this allows you to net fish quicker and catch bigger weights. So I've used 9 holler, it's nice and soft, but 2 strips of the puller and the fish will be in the net. Then I've got a bead, which I've just attached my loop to loop at the back of the knot and then pull the bead over. Creates a nice bolt effect when the fish comes, the elastic. If you use Dacron, you could get a little movement and the fish feel your bait and spit it back out. This is down to an 019 main line. I want it nice and durable because I'm fishing through the water. It'd be in my landing net, I'm jigging up and down and catching a lot of fish, so I don't want it to let me down. Then I've got 4 inches between my pole tip and the first stop. This is because the fishery rules say 4 inches. If you go somewhere else, I know like Lindome is 8 inches, so just bear that in mind. But what I like to do is put a number 8 stop in the middle of that, just able to control the rig better. Then coming down to the float itself. 3 running. This is just a Preston 4 and 6 mil one, and I've got 3 number 8 stops. Stops are a great shot, they can move up and down your line without damaging it, but I just have that on the hook length, and I got 4 inch hook length. The reason I got a 4 inch hook length is because when I slap my rig in, I want a nice L shape, so that if the fish takes my bait, it's like a bolt rig. This is down to 013, size 16, GPM and a band. Because I'll be fishing banded pellet today, that's why I've got the band. Now, for the 5 foot rig, it's exactly the same, other than I can go down to 5 foot. Let's keep it dead simple. You also might have noticed the markings on my top kit. This is just make it dead easy. Let's just show you on here. Say I'm catching, I've lowered it down, I think the fish are 2 foot. I can just literally come back, pull my rig down to 25 inch. So I've got an inch just before I think the fish are, and then we're fishing to there. Just makes it dead easy, you know where you're fishing. and you can record it in a book back home what depth you caught at for a later date. On to bait choices. Today I brought 4mm fishery feed pellets. This is because the fish are coming to noise, and pellets give me the most noise out of any other bait. So the fish are tuned in, they're locking up, they're hearing the bait falling, getting feeding aggressive. Don't get me wrong, casters and maggots can be great on a jigger, but just do your homework. Go the venues you're going to, make sure you know which bait they're in tune with, and that's what you fish on your jigger. Getting set up correctly is important when jigger fishing. By this, I mean having the rollers set at the right height, so when you ship out, you're not bouncing your pole. Also, everything to hand. So you've got your landing net to hand, you've got your bait to hand, your catapult. You're not having to lean down, you just pick it up, feed your bait, and it makes it also, when you're fishing with your pole across your knees, you can lower your jigger in perfectly. So you're not jagged, you're not making any rough movements, it's all smooth, and it just aids more fish you can catch. So when you're jigger fishing, just make sure you're set up, you're comfy, and then you'll put more fish in the net. So we're going to start the session off. Normally in match conditions, I'd feed this for 30 to 40 minutes. But today, I'm just going to start feeding and then run you through. So what I've done with my catapult is, I've cut the lengths down to 5 inches. This just allows me to group my bait a lot better. By this, I mean, when I pull back my catapult, all gathers in like a dustbin lid. That's what you're trying to aim for. You can see they're already there, so we'll try and get fishing now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide a 4mm into the band, like so. I'm going to start it free, well, stop it 3 foot, but we'll talk about the way the rig goes in a sec. What I've got is, I've got a tub of red pellets in 4 and 6mm, and I've got my little tub of 4 and 6mm. What I like to do is when you go to different fisheries or different batches of pellets, just buy a few, put them in your little pot, and them days where a different pellet can suss out them bigger, better fish. Also, what I've done is added some lubricant to my elastic just so it runs more smooth and it makes your elastic last longer. So, make sure everything's tight when you ship out. And basically, I'm going to go out there now and slap my rig. What this means, by this I mean, is I'm going to go out and turn my rig over, my pole, anti-clockwise. When I get to 4 inch there, it'll be, what I mean by this is I'll slap my rig over, and I'm only fishing 4 inches deep. This is because the float doesn't top properly, so I'm fishing 4 inches deep there, and I can see, got one. What I'm going to do is just feed now. Keep that nice and slow. Taking your time. You see now there's 2 strips of this puller. You're absolutely perfect. Straight in that. You see what I mean by your main line? Your main line's in your net, so you don't want it to let you down. Lovely F1. Hooked in the top lip, so that's a good start. Get that on there. So, demonstrate that again. Demonstrate it again. I don't really like to slap it 3 times, just once is enough, and I'm lowering it down now. As you can see, you can't catch any quicker than that, really. What I mean by keeping everything to hand is put my pole into the clip, the keep net, It's to hand. Everything's nice and simple. You're not having to reach over there to get the landing net. Again, nice F1. Put in the top lip. Cameras on. Right, so what we're going to do is slip a 6mm on, see if that makes any difference. What I'm going to do it again. This time I'm going to flick it out. Because this Preston hole's got a bigger hole, if I flick it round it might go down too fast. I'm going to flick it out and it will catch up on itself, which slows it down. As you can see, makes it nice and simple. Just feed your bait there. Absolutely devastating way of fishing this jigger. That was on a 6mm that time. Everything to hand, nice and easy. Let me do it again. You see that thing fish in there, and that literally was 4 inches from the surface. Ridiculous. Once again, back to the top kit, just make sure your feed's going in. You're not getting a chance to feed when you're fishing because it's fishing so good. So only one strip out of that, take a second strip, get the fish under control. One thing I like about these fish at the clay pit, look how golden they are. Because the water's so clear, fish are dead golden. Try and hold them up. Yeah. I'm getting a nightmare. Look how golden that is, beautiful. That's the one beauty about this place. I can see them fish that I'm catching basically. They come right up in the high layers. Just gives you a nice understanding how F1s actually feed. I'm going to do that, flick it out again because it seemed good last time. Just flick it out, lower it down, dead dark. Can't go much better than that. One of the smaller ones. But like I said, it's all about efficiency when you do the fishing. It's keeping it nice in a rhythm. Get that feed going in. This time I'm going to try and lower it past these fish. See if I can catch anything a bit deeper. Lowering it down dead slow. There you go. Feels like a better fish to be fair. Just feed your peg. Because I cut down that catapult, it makes it so much easier to group your bait. It only took about an inch off, but just makes everything simple once you come off that file up with the net in there. So what I'm going to do is what I spoke about before. Is I'm going to come down to say, I'm going to do it at 15 inch. And now I'm fishing 15 inch deep at the lowest point in my peg. Let's see if I can get to that stop and it just allows them to hook themselves. So I trap my rig and then you see it's gone straight away. If you struggle feeding when you're pulling in your hand, just get back to your 6 metre section basically. Fill the catty up, group your bait nice, and shit that. It's absolutely black there now. Lovely. Well, that one's still got my pellet on, so look, we're going to shift back out. What we're doing is we do flick out again just to slow it right down so you can catch anything. So flick it out, it's coming down, look at that. It isn't a better way of catching fish when they're feeding than on a jigger. It's absolutely devastating. Great way of fishing. And put masses in the net. I know at Lindo we catch so many fish on that Benny pool and Loco, just because they're quite deep, them venues, deeper than you think. But this is the beauty of this Preston jigger. It traps, so it's not fishing straight away. So what I mean by this is when it goes in the water, it sits like that until I bring my pole round and then we can start to fish. Also, I've got 3 number 8s. If you had 5, this causes the rig to want to go down faster. So this is why I've got 3 number 8s. It just causes a slower fall, and then it gives them more slower fishing, so you can more time in the fishing area. It's all about putting advantages in your favour. So can't see it at the minute, but I swear as soon as I flip my rig and I'll get one. There they are. It's gone down now. So I've got to stop and lift it up, and the fish had it in its mouth then. Got to stop, and then I've lifted and I've hooked the fish. Like I said, again, hole in the reef, 1 strip, that should be good to go. 1 strip. Another F1. Landing it down. Make sure this time I'm going to try one of the black pellets that's in the feed pellet. Change bait, see if you get a bigger fish or a better bite, or not sure. One tip is when you're fishing, make sure your rig elastic's not dangling out the end, because you can miss bites and it doesn't cause the bolt effect. Black then. So what I'm going to do is ship out 30 metres, slap my rig in, pull it up, get the feed and just lower it down, it's gone. Get back, If you haven't fished or used a jigger before, then it can be absolutely brilliant. You see, I didn't even need to pull my pocket out then, because these short stops are so short, 6 foot in length, you can really get the fish up quick as they come up close to you. Make sure you have a short landing net, don't be having a long one. Short landing net, just eases. Now I've just moved that and you'll see, catch, put it 10-inch deep, you'll see. Get one on the spot. I think you will. Get to your mark, start your rig in, lower it down to the stop, lift up so you don't get a bite. What you can do is hold it just before you stop, and that's a great way of catching as well. So there you are, there's another one. Shit back. Now, I know I come shallower. I missed a couple of fish then, I felt them. So what I'm going to do is go a bit deeper and let them just cause a natural fall. So on the little stoppy ghosty, look at it there. Look at them. That'd be brilliant when they're like £3, look at that. That is absolutely brilliant. On the black pellet. So it just shows they do eat everything you feed. So, I'm going to go again. Pellet's still good, because it's got more oil in that pellet on it. What I'm going to do, change it, I'm just going to push it up 3 inch. Now I'm pushing it 13 inch. Just see, and catch the fish a bit quicker. So what we're doing is, see there, because it was trapped, that caught that fish at 4 inches. That's the beauty. If you've had, go run it. If you had fixed rigs, you could miss out on some fish. If these fish drop deeper, you could miss out on them. Another one. Wonderful fishing. It's more exciting when you can see your fish come up and see them swirling for your bait. And what I'm going to do, it's a good change bait, got 6mm red on. Just a bit more noise. Still fishing at that 13-inch mark. What I'm going to do is give it one slap. Trap there, lower it down, and it's gone. So that's probably gone like 5 inches deep. So just pull your fish to the side, feed the bait where you're fishing, come back. If you hadn't seen the jigger before, you can just believe how good it can be. Dead simple way of fishing. Dead easy now, you know, you've got your setup right, but it's just about efficiency. So what you want is everything to hand. It's like the little process, but land the net down, like wipe your hand, take your pellet, like band your pellet. These are the little process you've got to go through your head. Band your pellet, it's like flick your rig out. Put your pole together. Are you going to feed or are you not going to feed? This time I'm not going to feed, I'm just going to go out and flick it straight out in the line. Slow it down, high up, and there you go. So now I'm going to pull the fish to the left. It's about 2 metres away from where I'm feeding. Catty in, it's all in line. It's on a dustbin lid. And just shit back. And as you get back to your top kit, stinking red in your clip, grab your landing net, lift your pole up. Do you need to strip? No. Net the fish, unhook the fish, unhook it. Unhook the fish, put the fish back. Land it down and then you start that process again. So that's what it's basically like. You've just got to get into your head. Don't be trying to like rush out 1,000 miles an hour straight away because there's loads of fish there. Just slow it down. Because I was always told smooth is fast. So if you're nice and smooth, you'll be faster. So basically we're going to do it again. I like in these Robin Red 6 mils. So we'll go with that one. Just going to put it a little bit deeper, give an option. Always changing it. Never keep it static. So I'm going to go out and swing it in from the left. Trap there, and then I've got a fish on. So your puller. Might be a bigger fish this. Don't want to pull them too hard because you can pull off. There you go. Nice. Side of that. These are the ones you want. Get for some of these in an hour and a match and you're absolutely laughing. Look at the size of that. Only just about lifted up. 6 mils, so just change your hook bait up. If you think you need to change your hook bait or you're not getting selective, like I've just switched to that and I've got a bigger fish, so now do is just slip back out. I'm going to change the feeding pattern up a bit. I'm going to feed 2 big pouches twice. Get loads of fish there, so when I go in, they're ready waiting. That's what I'm going to do. As you can see, it's absolutely solid. Trap that in there, lowering it down, it's gone. So I'm not going to feed this time, I'm just going to come back, let them fish regather in that area, and then go again. Seems like sticking out a bit bigger fish. In a match situation, it's brilliant because you're putting a bigger weight in that. So 1, 2. Oh yeah, it's even bigger than last one. Now this is what you come fishing for. Look at this. Nice, big, golden F1, clear water on the jigger. Can't beat that. what a session that was. I had one a chuck, and what a method the jigger is. It's a brilliant way of fishing, self-hooking rig, makes it nice and simple for you, but you catch loads of fish. I'm just going to recap on a few things so you can get that jigger fishing spot on. The first one is I touched on the importance of your setup. You want your setup rollers nice and easy. You've seen how easy it was to grab my landing net, feed them a catapult, unhook the fish, put it back. You've got to be comfortable. There's no point reaching down and coming back and not being all over the place. You want to be nice and comfortable. The second is feeding. Mix it up. Feed before you go out, when you're there, on your stop. Little different ways of doing it. Try slapping your rig in different ways. So what I mean by this is you can slap it in from the right, but then next time slap it in from the left, or flick it out, or just lower it down, see if you can get one dead deep. These fish sit all over the place. Obviously in match conditions it'll be a lot harder than what it's been today, but this is just a nice way to get you into your jigger fishing, get out on the bank and give it a try. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit the like button below, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos of On the Bank. Cheers.